you weren't really part of the whole Get Low Records wave, or at least in terms of releasing stuff, right?
No, I didn't. I'm on a Get Low project or two, via San Quinn, my bro, and uh, Fig did some project. I think it was with Juice or something like put it on the map or something else. I don't know if it was put it on the map. It was I'm on a project or two, but I never did any business as far as like an album under Get Low or anything like that.
Well, so it looked like not your debut, but like kind of a landmark appearance was Explosive Mode, right? Quinn and
Yeah.
Mess, the first album.
Yeah, Live and Direct first.
Live and Direct.
Yeah, Live
Okay,
and
so
Direct
that's a Get
before
Low
that.
album
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Okay, so you and Quinn had a
Yeah.
strong relationship from the jump.
Yeah, me and Quinn we've been tight for years. Probably since around that time, since when just being youngsters rapping, and everybody they kept making the running joke was they kept making Quinn younger. Like, man, he 12, man.
Right.
He was really 14, but everybody kept saying, man, he 12, man. Come listen to him. His voice had already kicked in. Like, this fool ain't 12. Y'all keep playing. Yeah, but, yep.
Well, Quinn achieved like local superstar status really early.
Yeah. And Quinn had an album before Live and Direct.
Yeah.
On Buck 50 Records.
So he was somewhat of like a prodigy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So
young baby boy.
But y'all were just homies hanging out and
we met at probably at the studio, or we either met outside on the Visadero, because at this time I was hanging out on the Visadero. So and Quinn was, a couple years younger, so he was, running around outside, but we really got to know each other at the studio, at the A Room. Davey D Jam and Sunu, that was they made a platform for us and a place for us to be. Probably helped save our lives and that's why I gotta get him the credit. Shout out Sunu and Davey D Jam, man, at the A Room. So we had a place to be, These headphones, right?
Okay, so and then not too long after that is like when Mess makes his debut as well, right?
Yeah, Mess. Yep. Around the time when I met Quinn, that was a little bit after Don't Cross Me, his first album, and we just were all collaborating. Hey man, he rap, y'all all rap. Let's make some music. So they probably got 200 songs, just from when you first starting out over there. And then Mess used to be at the A Room too, but Mess came around. He came because his cousin Big Mo is in KO, right? So I first met Mess in KO because KO is also one of my stomping grounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when I told you I moved up there with Granny? So KO is another place that's dear to my heart. And I first met Mess through Big Mo and Paco and them, you know what I mean? And I think Mess was already rapping or something. Mess probably had a tape already too, you know what I mean? It just made sense. The big homies brought Quinn and Mess together, and it made sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so this is I just want to get your perspective on it too, because I interviewed Quinn. I had Messi on the podcast as well, and that album that put them together that
Explosive Mode.
Explosive Mode, that I mentioned you appeared on, was executive produced by Herm from Page Street.
Yeah, Herm and Jay Stone. Herm from Page Street and Jay Stone.
So that's Presidential Records.
Presidential Records.
And the reason it's significant is because you, Messi, Quinn, were in a group called The Network.
Exactly.
With Sky Baller.
Right.
Ill Bill.
Right.
Trev G.
A.K.A. Lucci Siegel.
And Seth the Gaffler.
Seth the Gaffler.
Demo as well.
Demo the Youngster.
Am I missing anybody?
I think that's all of us.
So what was the story with The Network? Because that was like like a new Filmo supergroup damn near.
Man, the network, once again, a collective. We all solo artists, all from the neighborhood, and all collaborating. You know what I mean? And the big homies had the vision, Herm and Stone. You know what I mean? Put their money where their mouth was, and just wanted to see us win, man. And that was a beautiful journey, man. See, I smile inside when I think about the whole Explosive Mode, because we got so many stories, you know what I mean? And we all still very close to this day, you know what I mean? You know, even with Mesh doing this cat stuff or whatever, you can't help but to have some love in your heart for somebody that you come up with, you know what I mean? So it don't even... you know, the love is bigger than the hate anytime, you know what I mean? But yeah, the network was just us, you know, y'all whoever rapping, y'all need to come together. And you see it's the GLP is in the network, you know what I mean, as well as, you know, other members who were good with their pen and good at the craft. So it was the best of the best, if you ask me, you know, of the neighborhood at the time.
Well, I just, you know, on the outside looking in, right, I'm that guy that was opening the CD and reading the booklet and seeing who was featured on what and who produced this and what's this record label. And because I would be, you know, it made me geek to seeing record labels with, like, the address would be like, you know, 1521 Fillmore. Like, what? Yeah, what? There's a record label over there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then, so from my understanding, it never came out. A network album never came out.
Yeah, network album never came out. I mean, you know, of course, the streets and, you know, just our executive producers going through trials and tribulations is probably what held that. That probably would have been one of the next projects under Presidential Records, either that or Trev G solo album.
So yeah, because also what I was understanding about that whole era is that, like, Herm and Presidential and the whole Explosive Mode was like, there was a lot of money being, like, burned and ran through, and like there was some big shit going on, and major investments and
major production, major marketing. It was beautiful because it was like we had so much support and I gotta give Troy P and LC and the Sunnydale guys some they propers too, because they were like family, a part of our movement too, man. And we had so much fun. We took over Atlanta together one time, man. I'm talking about 50 deep. To whereas, you know, these are San Francisco guys. Every one of us is from San Francisco. We in a whole nother city, and if we wanted to tear anything up, we could have. You know what I mean? But I believe that trip put our city on the map. You know, for those who didn't know, like, man, San Francisco is you know, we had people getting low in the club. You know what I mean? But yeah. Just the streets getting in the way of the business, you know, in the middle of the transition. But, you know, the network, we all still brothers, if you ask me.
Well, Herm got locked up, right? So that was pretty much the end of Presidential Records in that situation.
Right.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.